So now we're looking at the fifth question on the special angle pairs, which is the one where you have the word problem for complementary and supplementary. Now remember, we talked about complementary. So you've got complement, which means 90, and you've got supplement, which means 180. So when you're looking at these two, anytime you have a complement, the complement of an angle, the angle itself is x, the complement is 90 minus x. And remember, the supplement is 180 minus x. So now I have these values, I can use this. It says twice the complement is equal to 45 less than its supplement. Twice the complement of an angle is equal to 45 less than its supplement. So that means 2 times the complement, which is 90 minus x, is equal to 45 less, which means subtract 45, than the supplement. 45 less than the supplement. Now you're ready to go. You're ready to solve it. 2 times the complement is equal to 45 less than the supplement. So now let's solve this using algebra. So I'm going to use the distributive property here. I've got 180 minus 2x. These parentheses can go because there's no multiplication. So we have 180 minus x minus 45. So what you do next is I'm going to combine the like terms. So I've got 180 minus 2x on this side and 180 minus 45 on this side, which gives me 135 minus x. You could have also just crossed the 180s off of each side, because if it's a balanced equation, you can cross the same amount off, but we're not going to do that. So I'm going to move the 2x now over to be with the x. So that means I'm going to have x, 135 plus x, equals 180. You still got 180. Now I'm going to move the 35 over. So the 135 comes over here and that ends up giving you 45. So x is 45. Now, if x is 45, you want to make sure, we want to plug back in and make sure we would have gotten 45 for x. So I'm going to come back to the original equation. 2 times 90 minus 45, which is 45. 2 times 45 is equal to 180 minus 45 minus 45. So 90 equals 180 minus 90. So 90 equals 90, so it checks. It's good. So x, your angle is 45. But I also want to know the complement and the supplement. Well, remember, the complement was 90 minus x. So what's 90 minus 45? 45. So the complement's 45. The supplement was 180 minus x. So 180 minus 45 equals 135. And that is your supplement. So that's how you solve the word problems with complementary and supplementary. You're just plugging in. Parallel and perpendicular. Remember, parallel, same slope. Perpendicular, opposite reciprocal slopes. Okay, so for the first one, I want to find the equation of a line that passes through the point 2, negative 2, 4, and is perpendicular to this line. So the first thing I have to do is I have to get this line ready. I have negative 3x minus 4y equals 6. I have to get this in slope-intercept form. Okay, I have to get this in slope-intercept form. So I want to get the y by itself. I'm going to add 3x to both sides. So negative 4y equals 6 plus 3x. Do not combine the 6 and the 3x. You can't. The 6 does not have an x on it. Big mistake a lot of people make. So the next step I'm going to take is I'm going to divide everything by the coefficient of the y term, which is negative 4. Everything. And I'm going to divide by the whole sign. You keep your sign. That becomes positive y. That becomes negative 3 over 2. And that becomes negative 3/4 x. So my slope is negative 3/4. I don't want negative 3/4. I want the perpendicular slope. So what's the opposite reciprocal of negative 3 over 4? Positive 4 over 3. So I'm going to use positive 4 over 3, and I'm going to use the point negative 2, 4. And I'm going to do this two ways. I'll do it first with point slope, and then I'll do it with slope-intercept form. So let's do point slope first. Point slope is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. I'm going to plug in my y-coordinate of my point, which is 4, my slope, which is 4 over 3, and my x-coordinate, which is negative 2. So y minus 4 equals 4/3 x minus a negative becomes a positive plus 8 over 3. My last step is going to be to add the 4 to both sides. So y equals 4/3 x plus positive 4, that's the same thing as 12 over 3 plus 20 over 3, which is going to be about 6.7. Now that's using point slope. Again, we used point slope. We plugged in the points and the slope to find it. You can also use slope-intercept. So you can use y equals mx plus b. My slope is 4/3. My x-coordinate is negative 2. And my y-coordinate is 4 plus b. I'm going to plug in for everything except for b. So 4 equals negative 8/3 plus b. And then to get the 8/3 over to the other side, I would add it. So I have 4 plus 8/3 equals b. And again, if you convert 4 to have a denominator of thirds, it's 12/3. So this is going to be b is 20 over 3. So I found b, therefore I can write the equation and already have the slope. So rearrange the equation first, find the slope you're looking for, and then you can either use point slope, which will give you the equation after you move it around, or you can do slope-intercept and plug in and find b. Let's look at number 2. Number 2 says find the equation of a line that passes through the points negative 1, 5, and 3, 2. In this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my 2 points. I don't know anything about the line except it passes through those points. Well, what can you tell when you have 2 points on a line? You can find its slope. And remember, the slope is your difference in y's over your difference in x's, your change in y over your change in x. So what are my 2 y-coordinates? 5 and 2. So I've got 5 minus 2 on top. And my 2 x-coordinates are negative 1 and 3. So I have negative 1 and 3 on the bottom. So when I solve it, I get 5 minus 2, which is 3, and negative 1 minus 3, which is negative 4. So that's my slope. Now I can use this process up here, either point slope or slope-intercept. I pick either point, whichever one. I'm going to pick this one. You can pick either point. So let's do point slope first. Point slope is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Okay. And I'm going to plug in y minus, let's choose this one. So y minus 2 equals my slope, which is negative 3/4 times x minus 3, because I chose this point right here. So y minus 2 equals negative 3/4 x plus 9 over 4. And then my last step would be to move that 2. So y equals negative 3/4 x. And that would be plus 17 over 4. Or you can get 4 and then 0.25. Okay? 4.25. That's using point slope. Or you can use slope-intercept. We can use y equals mx plus b. Using that point again, y is 2. The slope is negative 3/4. X is 3 plus b. So if I come up here, 2 equals negative 9/4 plus b. And then I add the negative 9/4 to both sides. And so I've got 4/4 and 9/4, which is 17/4 again, which is about 4.25. You would take that together with the slope and then write your equation. Okay. All right, so let's look at the one with the graph. The one with the graph says find the equation of a line that is parallel to the given line and passes through the point. Okay. Here's the key word, parallel. So we're looking for the same slope. So the first thing I want to do is find the slope of this line. Okay, I'm going to find the slope of this line. The equation for this line is actually already given, so my slope is 3. If you wanted to go ahead and find it, you would do 4 minus 1, remember the y's, divided by over 1 minus 0, which is the x's, so you'd get 3 over 1, which is 3. But it already tells you the slope is 3. I want the parallel line, so I'm going to use 3 as my slope. And then it passes through the point 2, 3. So now I'm ready to plug in. We're going to use... So I have y minus y1 equals m, x minus x1. So y minus y is 3. My slope is 3. X is 2. So I've got y minus 3 equals distribute 3x minus 6. And then I add 3 to both sides. So y equals 3x minus 3. That's using point slope. Now I'm going to do it with slope intercept. Y equals mx plus b. Y is 3. M is 3. X is 2 plus b. So 3 equals 6 plus b. And to solve for b, I subtract 6. So you get b equals negative 3. You know b is negative 3 and your slope is 3, so you would write it, 3x, because positive 3, minus 3. Same equation. So you can